grease, y'all. What is good? It is ShyTheSage returning for another amazing video. Welcome back. Happy Lionsgate portal. I am recording this on 8/8, so we have officially entered the Lionsgate portal, and on top of that is Leo season, my favorite time of the year. I like Leo season better than Gemini season, okay? My favorite time of the year, Leo season. Love it, feeling that energy. Also, a disclaimer. Right now, and I'm experiencing this myself. Right now we are going through timeline shifts. Remember, we've been talking about the shift for years now, where either you stay in old Earth, aka third dimensional consciousness, or you try to come up to fifth dimensional consciousness, aka new Earth. So if you're seeing a lot of people fall away, if you're seeing a lot of people have strikes with you, it's because your timeline is shifting if you are doing the work. Okay, this really requires a lot of work, especially in regards to the root chakra. Okay, alternating the DNA. And I'm noticing a lot of people, even the most spiritually adept people, are struggling with this shift. Like, this is it, y'all. So this is why I do these videos, to kind of help y'all understand if you falling out with people and you're not getting along with people, you're not seeing eye to eye no more, and people just falling away, it's because you're ascending. And also the people who are not ascending, be careful of them antagonizing you, because they will use that antagonistic energy based off your reaction to destiny swap with you. Okay, so no matter if you know somebody vibing low, what I tell y'all 2 videos ago, let people stay in hell. Let them stay in hell. People who don't want to do the work, some people like hell, and I've had to accept that. Some people like misery, some people like to live in shame, some people like to live in their past, and that's okay. That just doesn't have to be what you own. So understand that anybody that's on the lower vibration, that's trying to get you to react to them in their misery because they're stuck in hell and they see you ascending, baby, don't respond. Put your pride and ego to the side, baby, because what's in front of you is way better than what the fuck they trying to bring you down to. Okay, stay focused. All right, so glad I said that message, okay, because it's real big right now. It's happening, especially doing this Lionsgate portal. Okay, so I'll title this video is about not all of your ancestors support you. Okay, and what do I mean by that? All right, so a lot of times when you get into your spiritual practice, everybody else talk about your ancestors. Yes, it is great to honor your ancestors, because your ancestors, depending on what bloodline you came from, they do have certain gifts that they bring to you, so you can be in this time today to help raise the frequency of the planet so you can make a new bloodline, right? So, but not all ancestors are for that, right? So I think first I'm gonna say this: we need to stop romanticizing ancestors. Just because somebody passed does not make you kin. Okay, I don't know, when people say ancestors, I don't know who. Make sure you know who you're talking to, basically, is what I want to say. Make sure you know who you're talking to. Okay, some of our ancestors have been addicted to lower frequencies. They have been addicted to karmic patterns. Okay, so you would have some ancestors on the other side that, hey, might even work against you, or just might either stay out your way and not fuck with you, or not help you when you call them for help. Because a lot of people in the past, especially if you Black American, there's a lot of trauma in the Black American community. A lot of people in the past they want that trauma, right? They want to keep that bloodline the same because it's comfortable, and they are able to still exist, even if it is in a fucked up way. Okay, so I want to remind y'all, I'm gonna show y'all a little graphic. Hold on. So similar to many people today, some ancestors, like I said, get your ancestors off the pedestal. Don't romanticize them. Understand they're just people who passed over. Okay, so there are some ancestors who don't want to see you breaking generational curses, because the karmic patterns that are in the bloodline, that's the only way that they are able to still exist. And for certain bloodlines, there are entities attached to certain bloodlines, lower level entities that attach to karmic patterns and that attach to lower emotions. I'm gonna show y'all how possession happens, because a whole bloodline can be possessed. Like literally a whole bloodline can have an entity in it. And I come from a family who has, I don't even want to call them a family, honey, that's a motherfucking cult. But I come from a cult who had a lot of, you know, undesirable traits. Let me say that. Okay. So here is basically a frequency chart. Okay. So you see here all the way at the bottom, shame. Shame is the lowest vibration that you can experience in the human body. Okay. So this is why you kind of want to stay away from that, because once you get to shame, baby, you rock bottom. You in hell right here. So especially with the black, you know, I'm Black American, so I can only relate to other Black Americans. Our bloodline, due to Jim Crow and not only slavery, we still hold that shit in our bloodline. I've talked about this. And a lot, when somebody dehumanizes you, you go into shame. So this is why a lot of Black Americans today can't get out of certain patterns or can't get out of certain thought forms, because it's still in the DNA. Okay. So if your great times 20 granddaddy still feeling some type of way that his master raped him in front of his kids, you're gonna have shame. And then if you're still having children and you don't have time to process those emotions and actually work on them, or think you should address them because it's so embarrassing, this is where you're staying. And then you're passing this on to your children all the way here into 2024. So shame is at the bottom. You move up, you got guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire. Once you cross over to courage, that's the neutrality. But anything below pride, all the way down to shame, that's hell. So a lot of people, when we talking about people who are low vibrational, these are the emotions that they're experiencing. Okay. These are the emotions that they're experiencing. And heaven is all of these emotions up here. So neutrality is the crossover between heaven and hell, where you're vibrating a little bit high. You ain't feeling too bad, but you ain't feeling too good either. So you keep going up: willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, enlightenment. Okay. So once you cross over to that neutrality, anything above courage, right there, that's the gateway to heaven. Okay. And a lot of ancestors are addicted to these lower emotions. Okay. So when you come through and you want to break the generational curses, some are not going to be happy about that, because especially under patriarchy, again, speaking from the Black American experience, a lot of the ideals in the Black community are anti-feminine. Okay. Anti-feminine, everybody's masculine. Even the women take on masculine traits. This doesn't necessarily have to be in the way you dress or speak or talk to yourself, but it's the way that you approach certain things. Okay. Because Black Americans are in survival mode, because they have been stripped away from, you know, their rights. After, like I already broke it down, after slavery, they just threw them to the wolves, threw them out into the world, tried to adapt as best they could. Then Jim Crow hit, had to overcome that. So it's a lot of on the go survival. We don't have time to process emotions because we're too busy trying to figure out how to survive. Or on the plantation, we don't have time to process emotions. I don't have time to nurture your process emotions because master want me to pick this cotton. I don't have time. So that is embedded in the DNA, in the root chakra. When you are the generational curse breaker, a lot of people don't want, a lot of your ancestors don't want that, especially the men in your family. Because in the Black community, the women follow the men. Okay? The women follow the men for the most part. So anything the man want to do, the woman right behind her looking stupid as fuck. I mean, right behind him looking dumb as hell. So patriarchy affects everybody. Okay? It affects everybody. It affects the way we think. It affects the way we talk. This is why a lot of people are so much in competition with each other. Silent competitions, because the world has conditioned you in patriarchy that you gotta hustle, you gotta get money, capitalism. If you ain't got this, you ain't shit. If you ain't doing this, you ain't shit. So that's naturally changed the consciousness of humanity, especially over here in the Americas, where, you know, you just dealing with a whole bunch of social mechanisms, and then you're throwing a whole bunch of people out into society and they're interacting. Okay, so a lot of again, it is some ancestors that ain't gonna fuck with you. So watch who you talk to and be practical about your ancestors. Don't just, don't go all the way back to indigenous or Africa. Okay, Start practical. Okay, I know I talked to my father's mother. My dad's mother that's how I got they had the Anunnaki blood in them. Okay, O positive. So that's where I get my spiritual gifts from. I get my spiritual gifts from my father and his family and his mother. And then I had to find out too that my great grandmother, which is my grandmother's mother, she was a Mason. I didn't know she was a Mason. So that's why I kind of like, all the spiritual shit and the occult shit, because it's in my blood. Okay, so start practical. If you know your grandmama just passed, okay, start with her. Maybe go into some meditation, maybe some more ancestors to come, but don't just speak into a void talking about my ancestors. Know who you're talking about. Know who you're talking to, because not all of your ancestors are supporting you. Not all of your ancestors are, they're like people. Not everybody gonna fuck with you, even if they're dead and on the other side. Just because you die don't mean you just this angelic heavenly being. And then on top of that, a lot of people, when they cross over, they not fit, or they don't have the knowledge to be an ancestor. Being an ancestor is a privilege. It's right next to being a spirit guide. So all I'm saying is be mindful of who you're talking to. Don't just speak into this large abyss void talking about my ancestors. Know who you're talking to. Know who you're talking about. When I say my ancestors, I talk about my grandmother, her mother, and I had some other people back in the day. I gotta tell y'all that experience where my ancestors, they were so sick of my shit. When I was in the military, they possessed my roommate, and they were talking to her to the point where a young girl, way younger than me. So to the point where her mannerisms is like, she was hunching over like an old lady. Like, it was literally, because I was wilding around that time. Like 2020, I was wilding. I was wild in 2020. I ain't get no fucks. I was doing shrooms. And I think it's them shrooms that I was doing a lot of psychedelics. So a lot of my limitations, I keep forgetting, like I was excited to get out the military. But I was almost lost my shit because I was being reckless. The limits was off. So they had to come into my roommate, and then she identified who was in the room with us. So they identified, she came over she was possessed by a strong female ancestor on my dad's side. So I don't know her name specifically, but what I do know is in the room, my great grandmother, never met her before, but she was powerful, and I know she was related to me because my dad's side, they fire. A lot of them got Aries placements, like me. That's where I get my Aries from. So a lot of them got Aries placements. I be noticing Aries placements and Aquarius placements. My dad's side has. So they're very aggressive. They're very fiery. But they mean well though. They ain't gonna be like, oh, you little broke ass bitch. They don't. It ain't like that. But they be like, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like old heads. They old heads. So they talk shit, right? And they're very strong people. Okay, they're very dominant. Okay, so they came. My roommate got possessed. She explained to me who was in the room, and she explained to me that the lady that possessed her, she's dominant. So even the slave master would allow her to discipline the slave master's kids. So that's how I knew I came from something great. Okay, I came from something, or because it's like something in my bloodline, I noticed that make white people respect me. You feel me? Like my uncle told me that my great grandmother, racist ass time in the South, but they knew not to fuck with my grandma. They knew to come to her with respect, and she would talk to him spicy. You know what I'm saying? The women on my dad's side, spicy. She would talk to him spicy as hell. And he said that she had an encounter with the police, and the police was just pretty much submissive, basically. And this was back in the day in the South, okay? Like maybe 70s, maybe in the South, 70s, 80s in the South. And yeah, so just from even that pipeline, I knew who I was talking to. Like very strong female ancestors on my father's side. Even though my father has all brothers, it was his mother that got that fire, okay? So when I'm talking, I talk to her, my grandmother, and I talk to her mama, and I talk to the lady that possessed my roommate, because I know they care, Okay, like feel who cares about you. Or even if you can't go that deep, do some meditation. Go to I repeat and I iterate this, go to a very trusted reader, and find out who your ancestors are so you can find them in the spirit realm. Okay, but I know the ancestors on my father's side I talk to. Ancestors on my mother's side, I don't fuck with them niggas. And they don't like me either. Some do, because some are not used to my fire. So the women on my mother's side, they pick me's. I'm sorry, I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. They pick me's and they let niggas talk to them crazy. I don't let niggas talk to me crazy. So that's how I'm breaking the generational cycle over there, because I'm a little woman. You cannot control me. You cannot tell me what to do. If you tell me to go left, I'm gonna go right. Okay, I do what I want to do, but I'm respectful and I'm cooperative. Period. You ain't finna. I don't play that. I don't play that. So, but the women in my mom's side of the family, they not like that. You feel me? Like I will fight these niggas. I will beat these niggas' ass. I used to be a boyfriend bitch. My ex-boyfriend, I used to beat on my boyfriend. I'm not proud of that. That was before my spiritual awakening. But that just comes to show, like, I will beat these niggas' ass. You're not finna talk to me crazy. I'll beat these niggas' ass. I will poison you, and I'll make it look like an accident. Don't play with me. Oops. But anyway, yeah. So just know who you're talking to. Also, just a little quick disclaimer too. So be mindful of your Christian ancestors. So even though you're honoring them on the altar, and you're lighting a candle for them, and you're doing it with good intention, but some of the Christian ancestors aren't going to understand it. But if they fuck with you, they'll be open to it, because once you on the other side, if you know your auntie such and such was cool and you trying to light a candle, you knew she was Christian, like I said, she might feel like, okay, not like, what is this? But like, okay, what's this? This a little different, you know, because I know that's how my grandma is, my dad's mom is. When I light a candle to her, talk to her, I don't think she's used to these indigenous practices that I do, but she's still open to it. So that is maybe kind of a thing. If you do have Christian or Islamic or really hard religious ancestors, when you lighting a candle for them, just explain to them what you're doing and explain your shit, you know, when you talk to them. Do not put them on a pedestal. Just talk to them like that you was at the cookout. Talk to them like you sitting in the lawn chair, they sitting in the lawn chair, cousins over there playing spades, and you and your grandma or you and your great aunt or whoever passed over that you know fuck with you talking to you. Okay? So just be mindful of that. Also, again, breaking generational curses, the main point of that is to make a new bloodline. So that's why breaking generational curses is so hard, because when you break those generational curses, your root chakra, you literally start your family karmic or your family karmic patterns at zero. Okay, it's hard. It's hard. I know it's hard. It's hard. Baby, it's hard. I thought I was all healed. I told y'all, I thought I was all healed. Nah, I wasn't even digging in the surface. 2, 3, 4, 2019. I thought I was doing some shit. I wasn't doing no shit. I had to go deeper. So, you know, that's, and then when you do that, some of your ancestors that you might be talking to, you know, saying they might not fuck with that, but that's okay. That's okay. Like, because when you erase those patterns, again, when you erase those patterns, you create a new bloodline. Literally, you set your bloodline at zero. So if you, for example, if I decide to have a child, I will be the matriarch. Like, I could, if I wanted to, I could start my family tree with just me, and make a new bloodline. That's how powerful generational curses is. You're literally resetting your root chakra at zero, and the ancestors who are attached to those lower vibrations, with those lower emotions, who are attached to those karmic patterns, they might have an issue with that because they like staying there. Again, some people like staying in hell. Some people like, some people like living through their children. Let's say heroin addict. One of your ancestors was a heroin addict. And you might have some people in your family that have addictions too. That is that heroin addict living through their descendants, because that's how you get immortality. You get immortality in the third dimension by having children. Okay, so that's just what I wanted to break down. And I really hope that makes sense. Like, it's not like you're going to be looked at as an enemy by the ancestors who want to keep those karmic patterns in. It's more so like, okay, it's all about perspective. So they not going to fuck with you, not because you're not worthy to be fucked with, but if I have an intention and somebody goes against that intention, in my mind, at that point, you're in opposition. So for example, if I'm a crackhead and I go to my plug's house and my plug just got busted, and then now I can't call my plug and can't get high, in my mind, the police is the enemy because you took away the person who's going to give me my crack. You took away the person that was going to give me my high today. If I'm trying to do some whole shit, some deceptive ass shit, and I see a person over there who see through me and I'm trying to manipulate the people around me and they speak up, in my mind, that person is going to be an enemy because you're coming against my agenda. So like I said, it's good and bad shit. Perspective. Everything is about perspective. So, and that's with life too. Like, some people don't like you because you literally doing the opposite of them. Some people don't like you because you're confident. They're insecure. So in my mind, you're an enemy because I hate myself and you love yourself. Some stupid shit like that. Like, humans are stupid. So it's not necessarily something wrong with you because they don't want to fuck with you. It's just you're interrupting my intent. So you an op. And I ain't gonna fuck with you. Like I said, some just don't fuck with you, just watch you and mean mug you from the sidelines. Others try to work against you. So I'm not saying this to fear monger, like, I'm not saying this for fear mongering. Don't get scared. But I'm just saying be mindful. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Okay, I'm about to go out, honey, and have me a time because I am single again. Okay, so if you want a reading, again, y'all know the spiel, information in the description box. Email me, and like I said, I'll give you a sample of one of my PDFs from my previous clients to see what you'll be getting. And till next time, bye.